Hi, my name's Kevin G. Nicholson. I am the host of this YouTube channel, and I want to thank you for stopping by and taking a look. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps me out a lot. We'll be going on adventures, we'll be painting paintings, we'll be creating new things for a new year. So please, join me. Like, subscribe, do all the stuff they always tell you to do. Just do it!
Green sleeves was all my joy, green sleeves was my delight.
And all this, like there's this portal, just kind of stumbled through, and here we are.
You guys have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do.
What's the name? How do I reach it?
Fidel Dog on YouTube petition.
Fidel Dog? I'm filming you, filming me. This is awesome.
Look at
What's
it.
up?
We got the same camera.
We do have the same.
We have similar.
My name's
Fidel
Kevin
Dog
G.
here.
Nicholson.
I realized the intro was not as informative as I thought. New England artist, videos going all the way back to the 1990s, has galleries going on, videos up to now, from a wide variety of content, makes music. This man has so much going on the videos and the music, I just thought I needed to know more. Alright guys, enjoy the interview. I want to see you enjoy it. I want to see you enjoy that interview.
My
If you
name
don't
is
enjoy
Fidel
that interview, I don't know what I'm going to do.
And today we're meeting with the one and only Kevin G. Nicholson on the Kevin G. Nicholson channel, Black Stripe. Where do you get your fashion sense from?
Doctor Who. It's a science fiction show that I used to watch when I grew up.
And what about the Kevin G. Nicholson jacket?
Oh,
what is the story behind the jacket?
The jacket.
Yeah.
You got a two-shot of that?
Yeah.
Before I went out to Venice Beach, California, I decided I was going to put totems all over it.
Totem, what is that?
Kind of like if you believe in witchcraft at all, then what you would do is you would try to imbue an object with properties that you would like them to have. And so I would have imagination and truth written on it, and courage, and traits that I thought was, well, important to me. What?
When you went to Venice Beach, what was that all about?
A friend of mine said that she would fly me out in exchange for a painting. And I thought, that's Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out there, I'll smooze, and I'll see if I can meet other people in the industry. It was a beautiful trip, but it wasn't like that. I mean, Venice Beach was beautiful,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I saw it back then, because now it's all covered with tents, because homeless live out there, and it's terrible. I went to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
And that was, I was doing a documentary about the country, and that was, I want to say, 1997. I've been to New York, I've been to Montreal. I believe that was for a video contest. It was mid-2000s.
Mid-2000s?
Where they, a lot of local area filmmakers had put pieces together, and they put, and they projected that at this local bar/eatery.
I was going to ask this earlier. Where does the name Black Stripe come from?
I have a black belt in Chinese Kempo that I earned in the early 90s. And I always dreamed about having Black Stripe Gallery because that implied, okay, that's the highest belt. And, you know, that's how that name came to be.
And so how did you get into animation?
When The Virtues was finished, I was left with I had purchased a machine specifically so I could do graphics and so I could do effects. Once that project was finished, I was ashamed because it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to turn out. I was like, oh, this isn't marketable, and I was really genuinely ashamed. I hid in a 10-foot by 10-foot cube for a year and a half. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to be in here, I'm going to learn how to animate. And I taught myself 3D animation with the manual and actually doing it one frame at a time for a year and a half.
And then I saw another video, the New Age music video as well.
The universe you're talking about.
Yes.
That, before I realized the craft of putting albums together, I just wanted I wanted to play it out. I figured, okay, well, if someone's listening to, this video or that video, I didn't realize that it was pretty much cut off. The moment that someone watches something after 31 seconds, then you got your view, but you're not going to get another view. You know what I mean from that? So when I first started, I would just stretch stuff out so long. The universe, I think it's like a half an hour, an hour long, where it's just like floaty, 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 dee, 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 and then my animations underneath it, over and over and over. And I think, well, something for someone to nap to, and maybe they'll go, oh, that's kind of neat. But that's how that particular video came to be.
Drugs ever been like used?
Oh yes.
Influence, right?
Oh yes.
If you can go deeper into that.
Oh, absolutely. Marijuana. I love marijuana. It's the other reason I went to Amsterdam before it became legal and socially acceptable in the United States. It was legal there and just there. But yeah, I mean, it's not directly responsible for the work.
Yeah.
But certainly I've been under the influence many times as I produced the work. It's more a medicinal thing to allow me to interact. The work doesn't come from it. I sometimes use that as a bullshit answer where it's just people go, where do you get your ideas? And I'm like, drugs. And just to kind of like, I don't, you know what I mean? But that's not true at all, obviously. Everything, you have to have a thought behind it, not just like, I could use a Twinkie. That's not what creates the art. The art is like, it makes it easier for me not to hit people. People are challenging. And sometimes, pardon me. No, it's medicinal in the fact where it calms me down. I don't know if I would suggest it necessarily for anyone, but I certainly would suggest it for myself. Everyone's different. Yeah. Some people, that's bad, and some people will take right to it. But at the same time, it's like, what's your favorite color?
Pink, I'd say. Okay,
your favorite color is pink. Did anyone tell you that was your favorite color? Did you decide on that color? You just went, nah, that's my, you just kind of went, oh, no, that's it. It's not something that you choose consciously, it just is. But you don't choose it. You choose to go back to it because you like it. And that's kind of why I went back to the marijuana thing, and why I was involved with a lot of hippie bands back in the 90s and 2000s, because that was kind of my scene.
Are you a spiritual person, would you say?
Yeah, yes. With the caveat. Spiritual, I know nothing. I don't think anybody knows for certain. I joke saying, well, yeah, I had coffee with Jesus this morning and he told me that you were bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't talk to Jesus this morning. I got nothing in my head that goes, this is the right way. I think there are questions that need to be asked. Why does the universe need consciousness? That's a big question.
What do you think about it?
The laws of man exist within the laws of nature, as do we. We as biological entities, we exist within the natural universe. And then we're governed by laws of man within that. How we choose to interact with the universe, the fact that we have a consciousness and that we can say, right or wrong, I'm going to turn into oncoming traffic, or I'm going to go, it's not a good idea, let's go the other way. We get to choose that. The fact that the universe has something to explore from that, I think deserves a lot more attention than it gets. Don't lie, don't steal, and be nice. Just try to be nice. People are mean. Yeah. People can be terrible. But it's also tricky not to become those mean and terrible people, because you're a human being like I am. I'm sure you get mad, you get sad. Sometimes even if you just eat the wrong food, you're like, I ate too much. You know what I mean? It affects your emotional state. But the moment that we realize, we have a certain amount of agency, a certain amount of personal sense to be able to choose. Okay, well, I'm feeling depressed right now. Do I want to dwell in that? Do I want to roll around in it? Or do I want to go, okay, I'm going to choose to think about something that'll make me chuckle, or that'll at least pacify me, so I don't go through all of that stress. Negative emotions have more weight than positive emotions. Negative memories have more weight than positive memories, because the way we're designed is we're looking for the danger. What's coming at us? What's going to hurt us? And we do that up here too, where it's just like, she broke up with me. Kevin, that was 20 years ago. Yeah, but I'm gonna, 20 years later, I'm still thinking about it. It's gonna make me sad. So something that happened 20 years ago, you're gonna make you sad in the moment? You're relatively healthy, you know what I mean? Everything's okay. But you're gonna bring yourself to this negative space where we have to realize we do have that agency. Everyone's rebelling against everything. Oh, this is a cause I'm fighting for. This is something that I'm against. In general, if we look at, well, what can we build? What can we make better? Rather than looking for the villains, how do we make ourselves better people? I think that would make society work a lot easier, and I think a lot of the issues that are facing our culture right now would be, if not solved, it would be alleviated. Using your personal agency to be aware of what you're doing. There's one thing to say, like, oh boy, we're really getting into it, aren't we? The election, Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Oh, split the country in half. Half the people think he's great, half the people think he's terrible, and vice versa. The Me Too movement to protect all the women we had, by locking up all these people. There are 1.9 million people in jail in this country. 1.9 million. That's the population of Philadelphia, and we have them incarcerated for, in many cases, things they didn't even do. And it amazes me. People are so quick to measure, weigh, and judge others rather than go, well, how can I make my own life better without, hurting those around me? It's difficult to do because we are human beings. We make mistakes all the time. But being aware of that agency, I think, is important.
It's like you tend to be yourself a lot. Do you ever get like negative comment and like, yeah?
Sometimes, no, I get upset,
Yeah.
like anyone else does. Generally, I can pull myself back because I do have a sense of that agency. But my feelings get hurt, and I get rejected occasionally, and I get, falsely accused of things all the time. You can influence people around you, but you have no control of them. You do have direct control over yourself and your mental state. And I could sit there and go, oh, no, I'm worried about this and this and this. But that worry will just make me sick. So it's best to go, oh, what can I do to improve my circumstances and go in a positive direction from here?
One more thing. Kevin G. Nicholson, dude, the Fidel Dog song is absolute fire. Absolute fire. And when I was looking through the music, my God, I thought I had a stroke. I was like, is that Fidel Dog in the song? And it was like, Fidel Dog, Fidel Dog, Fidel Dog. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Truly amazing. Not even joking, I actually appreciate it a lot. Thank you. And Kevin G. Nicholson, I hope you enjoy the interview. Hopefully the audio quality is not too bad.